This is the MGM 1-month overview reading for the month of January 2024. It's currently November 26, 2023, 6:53 p.m. Eastern Time. MGM at the time of this reading is currently $40.22. That's USD. And the shuffle video for the January reading was created on October 25th, 2023 at 1:42 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. So the overall theme and behavior for MGM in January is a prominent peak on at least a 1-month chart, probably on a year-to-date chart, prominent peak that we sell off from pretty notably. It's mixed with erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, a price level that's important on a 1-month scale minimum. And it's erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, in the midst of which we revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. We may revisit a trough as well. It's possible based on what I'm seeing. We'll talk about that in more detail as we progress. Behavior around the high side, we have sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears inflow and outflow. So we should either see like a tight sideways range, like along a support level near the high, or we should see wide swings, one of the two. But it's going to be like back and forth behavior, moving sideways overall near the high. And then a lot of price change to meet the low. It looks like the price level around the MGM low for January is a price level that you could probably trade around pretty notably in both directions. I'll talk about that in more detail in the paid version. But there's a lot of volatility and a lot of price change to meet the low. The high and the lows are also within close time proximity to each other on a 1-month chart scale. It should be within a few days' time of each other. Before we go any further, though, I want to make sure everybody's aware the whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. Now, we do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. It's the unwritten agreement between the universe and anybody utilizing this information for personal gain. The universe has no problem with people utilizing this information for personal gain as long as it's simultaneously being utilized to help other people as well. So the way that you guarantee to do that is by following the rule of karma for the channel. You do so here on the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders. 5% of the profits of all profitable trades should be donated forward to one of these charities. Just click on a link and donate. And 5% of the profit should be donated back to the channel as a thank you and to help support the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube. That leaves you at 90% of the money. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you follow those rules, my friends, you're an angel investor of the channel. The universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel. Neglect to follow through, the universe will neglect to follow through as well, my friends. Let's get into it. Blessings to all my angel investors. Each of these cards going left to right across the screen that are numbered represent 1 day out of the month. It's important to understand that not each card's energy is going to line up perfectly with 1 day of time. So you have to give it plus or minus a day of wiggles room. In a lot of cases, you won't need to do that, but in cases where we're off, it'll be off by like a day or so, plus or minus a day or so in cases like that. So in cases like that, just make sure to follow the sequence of events of chart behavior. That never deviates, and that should keep you on track. Also, remember to trade responsibly, my friends. I'm not right all the time. All right, so we have off on the first for the new year, and then there's a rally into a key resistance level on a multi-day scale there on the second. Looks like it's probably towards the later part of the day there on the second, and then we decline with consecutively lower specs up on the way down into a prominent trough around the cusp of the third, fourth. It looks like we probably revisit that trough with another decline on the fourth. Either that or it's like a trough that we just saw. It might be a trough that we just saw at the beginning of the day on the second. There's a trade opportunity is there. I'll talk about it in more detail in the paid version. On the fifth, there's an important resistance level highlighted on a multi-day scale there, and it looks like volatility will kind of flatten out around that resistance level. Important resistance level on a multi-day scale, and volume and volatility should flatten out around that. On the 8th, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance and a peak that's formed in doing so, followed by a decline through key support. That's on a multi-day scale, and technicals will lead us to believe that we're going to break out through that price level, but instead we turn around and we decline through key support there on the 8th into a trough towards the end of the day. But the very next day, we establish support, and then there's a big move higher on a multi-day scale, taking us to a high mid to late in the day, and then we do sideways rotation near the high. Off of that prominent peak there, we have a sideways fluctuating decline into a trough towards the end of the day on the 10th. Trade opportunity both on the 9th and the 10th. I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. And then a prominent trough on the cusp of the 10th, 11th. Looks like a lot of price change on the 11th into the 12th. A lot of price change, it looks like, to the downside, and an important trade opportunity there on the 12th as well. Again, I'll talk about it in more detail in the paid version. Guys, if you're wondering what you get in the paid version, you don't just get the best trades, but you get the timing of the highs and the lows, price level information. You get what type of chart behavior to look for as far as entry and exit points for the trades that we talk about. You also get trades that are relevant from a multi-year standpoint or a multi-month standpoint as well, if relevant. And then we'll also talk about the overall performance in comparison to the S&P 500 throughout the same January period. It's a really great way to support the channel. We know the names of everybody that supports the channel with the paid version of the monthlies because they're the core foundation of support for the channel. So you go here to our services, hover over our services on our website, click on SO Meta Posts, scroll to monthly subscription, click here to order. You pick the ticker symbol, in this case MGM or crypto that you're interested in. You can subscribe to any one of these ticker symbols or crypto individually, or if you're interested in more than one, highly recommend the 30 days access to all paid versions. I'll get you the paid version of all of these crypto and ticker symbols, as well as Amazon, Google, Nvidia, and soon to be Microsoft. And the only way to get the paid version of Amazon, Google, and Nvidia is through that all paid. Much appreciation to everybody that goes and does that. Again, we definitely know you by name. You're a big part of what goes on here, so thank you again. Let's continue onward. So another prominent trough towards the end of the day on the 12th. There's some pretty erratic behavior there, it looks like, on the 12th. We have off on the 15th for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and then there's a reversal there, a trade opportunity in the midst of a notable reversal that'll stand out on a 1-month chart at minimum. We have a prominent trough here in the midst of a decline off of that reversal there on the 16th, a prominent trough on the 17th that'll form. So we have, like, out of the trough, we have like erratic behavior, and we revisit a crest here around the end of the day on the 18th, and then we decline to and through support to meet a second support and rotate sideways into the 19th. Day trade opportunity on the 19th. Again, I'll talk about that in more detail in the paid version. And it looks like it's a mixed day on the 19th, but there's definite trade opportunities there on the 19th, which we'll talk about again in more detail in the paid version. We have a period of volatility on the 22nd and a fast sudden move higher marking the end of that period of volatility. 3 pokes through the same price level on the 23rd, followed by a sharp drop off of that third poke. Sideways fluctuating rally on the 24th that precedes a decline. Looks like we rally into a key resistance level towards the end of the day at a peak, and then we have a sharp drop towards the end of the day, maybe even a gap down at the very end of the day there. But not to worry, I'm advised not to chase that decline. The following day, we have a notable move higher reaching for a distant resistance. We've created another prominent peak or crest for the month, and then we have a breakout on a multi-day scale there on the 26th, taking us to another prominent peak or crest. On the 29th, we likely open lower, and then there's a notable move higher early in the morning. On the 30th, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance and a sharp decline through key support into another prominent trough. Oh, I left out that we probably also have a prominent trough on the 26th before that big move to a prominent peak on the 26th. On the 31st, we have bumping along resistance sideways, possibly breaking through and continuing to bump along sideways, maybe breaking through multiple times, but the overall behavior will be bumping along resistance sideways. It's bullish. Sneak preview for February is a near overbought crest that we sell off from through multiple support levels into a prominent trough. And that's MGM for January 2024, my friends. If you like this stuff, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out the channel. Do so. If you've already subscribed, please share this with somebody. That also helps out the channel a lot. Most importantly, make sure to follow the rule of karma. That's how the channel survives. Much appreciation to everybody who does so. You know where to go. You know what to do. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned if you got the paid version.